will help you to identify whether you'll be working from a state of healthy productivity or toxic productivity. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yasmin and I'm Nadia. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and the bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video on how to transform your life from stress and unfulfilled to joyful and balanced. So years ago, we used to rely on toxic fuels such as caffeine and adopting a hustle culture mindset to maintain our levels of productivity, but we kept on running into burnout. Our frustration with constant burnout led us to the discovery of healthier ways to be and maintain productivity, which we're going to share with you today. So the first step is to gain clarity on why you want to be productive. Figure out why you want to be productive. This tip will help you to identify whether you'll be working from a state of healthy productivity or toxic productivity. You really want to identify what is driving your desire to be productive. Are you influenced by hustle culture, and have you formed the belief that you need to be productive to feel worthy or important? Do you take pride in being busy? Do you push yourself to be productive so you feel like you have earned your rest? These sort of questions will help you to identify whether you're pushing yourself to be productive in a toxic way, for example, to try and prove your worth, or a healthy way because you genuinely want to be productive to get to your goals and you find it joyful and fulfilling to be productive. This process of asking questions is part of the practice of shadow work, which we talk a lot about on this channel, and we have a video which we'll link down below called What is Your Shadow and Shadow Work, and it will help you to identify what is driving your behaviors and help you to uncover the needs and desires driving you to want to be productive. We also have a masterclass which is free, which we'll link down below, called Burnout to Balance, and this will take you through a step-by-step process of how you can do shadow work to help you with this tip as well. So during your shadow work, if you do discover that your productivity is being fueled by really unhealthy beliefs, what you can then do is start to create healthier beliefs, like being inspired to reach your goals so that you can find healthier ways to get your work done and be productive. Our second tip is to focus on you first, so you can be present with your work later. In order for you to be the most productive you can, you need to be and stay present with whatever it is you're doing. Staying present will ensure you are giving any given task 100% of your attention and focus without being swept away into thinking or doing something else, meaning that you'll produce the best and most efficient results. Now, the biggest obstruction with being able to stay present with what you're doing is you. You, your mind, your thoughts and your feelings are the biggest interruptions to your productivity, because you can't give anything your 100% focus, presence and attention if your mind wanders off somewhere else. This means that before you do anything, you need to check in with yourself first. So ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need to do first? Am I feeling unsettled or distracted? If so, is there any way of dealing with that first? By addressing anything that needs to be done or dealt with first, or any thoughts that are bothering you or making you feel unsettled, you can ensure that when you do get into a complete state of presence and flow later, you won't be interrupted by them. You are your biggest investment because you are the one that produces the results that you want. So make sure you are okay and ready to work before anything else. I also want to add here that another big interrupter of presence is multitasking. Do not multitask. This just interrupts your productivity and focus. So try to stick to singular tasks as much as possible. So once you are in a state of flow and presence with a task, you stay there. Our third tip is to redefine productivity. Next, ask yourself, what does productivity mean to me? And make sure that you define it in a healthy way. So different people interpret productivity differently, but it's round about getting as much done as possible. That's how a lot of people interpret it. And we want to share 3 rules with you to help you interpret it in a more healthy way. The first one is to realize rest and fun is an investment into your productivity. If you make time for rest and joy, you will increase your output and productivity. The University of Oxford found that happy workers were 13% more productive. So you need to make fun and joy and your happiness a priority. The second rule is being busy doesn't necessarily mean you are being productive. Don't confuse movement with productivity. Instead, track the progress you are making towards your main goals. The third is productivity is unique to everyone. To one person, gardening is productive because they have a goal to create a lovely garden. To another, going for a walk is productive because their main goal is getting to their fitness goals in a slow and gentle way. Productivity is about spending time on what matters to you and making the best possible use of that time. Our fourth tip is to identify and use your most productive hours. Most of us have a specific time of day where our energy is at its peak and we are the most efficient. For some of us, it's in the morning, for some, it's in the evening. Find that time and use it to do your most important and biggest tasks. This is so effective because most of us can do more in those few hours of uninterrupted, most productive time than we can usually do in a whole day. You can literally double your productivity because your energy is at its peak. Make sure though that in this time you're able to eliminate as many distractions as you can because you want to take full advantage of these couple of hours. The fifth tip is to manage your inner critic. So one of the keys to being productive in a healthy way is managing your inner critic and not beating yourself up for not being productive enough or not doing as much as someone else. Manage the thoughts of guilt and shame, comparison and perfectionism. The best way to do this is to gain awareness of where these thoughts are coming from. You can do this by doing shadow work, as we mentioned in the first point. Know that every day is different for everyone. You are human and not a machine that will produce the same amount of output every single day. And one of my favorite principles that I learned from Don Miguel Ruiz in his book, The 4 Agreements, is to always do your best. And your best will differ from moment to moment, day to day. You know, one day you might not be feeling well, or one day you might not have slept well the night before, so don't expect the same amount of productivity from yourself and have self-compassion when you're not feeling so productive. A good way to manage that inner critic is by building a self-compassionate voice. And the best way to do that is to celebrate your wins, all the little achievements and successes. Celebrate every task that you do on your to-do list and every project that you accomplish. The more you can reward yourself and support yourself and be kind to yourself, the more that you will feel good, and then the more you want to do work and be more productive. And you'll start to overtake that inner critical voice with a more supportive and compassionate voice. Our next tip is to plan your day ahead. Some of you may have heard this saying from Brian Tracy that every minute you spend in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. Planning is essential if you want to make the most out of your time, because you don't want to be wasting time every time you complete something thinking about what to do next or feeling overwhelmed because you feel scattered and unorganized. The more clear and simple your plan, the more time you'll save and the more productive you'll be. The key though is to plan the night or day before. This significantly helps your productivity because by writing down what needs to be accomplished the following day, your mind can work on solutions and the most efficient way to complete the task while you sleep, which means when you wake up the following day, you already have a head start. Our final tip is to schedule in rest and fun. So like we previously mentioned, if you see fun and rest as an investment into your productivity, not only will you not feel guilty when you're resting and having fun and having joy in your life, but you'll also create a more balanced life. And the more joyful and balanced you are, the more productive you will be. But it's easy to put off rest and fun when you have the mindset of needing to do things or you just have a lot to get done. And that's why you need to schedule it in. See your time for rest and your time for fun equal to your time for work. Work shouldn't be seen as superior to rest and fun because these things are equally important. Every day you should aim to incorporate fun and rest into your day. When you do your to-do list, account for times you will need to take breaks. When you fill in your calendar time block for a fun activity as well as your work. And when you write your goals down, make sure fun and joy are a part of them. That's it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.